When do you think Southwest Florida, it will return to more of a normal day for us?
Yeah, Lindsay, it's going to take a little bit of time because we have to wait for this Category 4 storm to not only make landfall, but also weaken as the land interacts with the storm. Notice there's a lot of dry air on the western and southwestern side of this storm. As that gets sucked into this storm, we will start to see these outer rain bands taper off. It's not going to be until the early afternoon, though, and we'll still get some isolated showers through most of the day today. It's just not going to be as prolific as the ones we're currently seeing. Speaking of Category 4, good morning. If this is the first time you're tuning in this morning, yes, Idalia is a Category 4, 130-mile-per-hour hurricane, and it is continuing to strengthen up until landfall, which will occur in at least just over 2 hours from now. Once it makes landfall, it will weaken to a Category 2 hurricane, and that's going to be right near the I-10, I-95 corridor, so keep that in mind. Very impactful travel area for the entire state of Florida, and this is going to be impacted drastically by this hurricane as it passes overhead. Speaking of the hurricane, the eye did close up a little bit, going through an eye wall replacement cycle. If we see the eye reform slightly, it will be even stronger up until landfall. But a lot of this land is already interacting with the outer band, so that could be also a reason why we are seeing that eye wall closed up just a bit. On satellite, on radar, we still see the eye there, a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning around it, so it is really showing the system still strengthening. A very strong hurricane at this hour. We have many bands of rain moving into the entire western side of Florida. The one we are watching now moving into western Lee County as well as western Charlotte County. There is some good news. The Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma did allow our area to be removed from the tornado watch. They allowed that to expire at 6 a.m. I thought they would continue it because of this band of storms still moving through, but because the wind is also coming from the south and the bands of rain also coming from the south, it's not really the angle that's conducive to get enough spin in the atmosphere. So that's some good news in terms of that tornado potential. We are still watching a decent amount of moderate to heavy rain. Arcadia, you are getting socked in with rain this morning. This is all going to skirt just west of Lake Placid. If you're watching from Port Charlotte and Punta Gorda, you may say, when's this rain going to stop? Unfortunately, it's not going to stop. The rain, the wind, gusty winds moving through anywhere from 40 to 50 miles per hour as the heavy rain moves in. But we call this training when we have showers and storms moving over one general location, and that's going to be the trend through the day today. We're going to see all this rain move over the same area. So I expect a decent amount of flooding, unfortunately, in Charlotte County because all this rain offshore will continue moving off towards the northeast. Keep that in mind. We already see roads impacted. That should be an issue, guys, for the rest of the morning. We'll have the latest team coverage, of course, in the Weather Center. We'll have more coverage in the next 10 minutes.
Breaking news right now. We're taking a live look at Beach Road, which is the causeway to Minnesota Key. That road now closed. You can see why storm surge, high tide has caused this flooding that you're seeing on Beach Road right now. So this is just one of the roads, though, that is closed in Charlotte County. But first, let's go to my map so you can see exactly where this is if you're not sure. So this is how you get to Minnesota Key. You're not going to be using that right now because of all of that heavy flooding that you just saw there. The other road that is closed this morning up in Charlotte County are the US 41 bridges. They are closed for flooding, so don't even try to go on them. You're going to be seeing the same thing that you were just seeing on Beach Road. A lot of water on the roadways. It is simply unsafe. Let's look at downtown Punta Gorda, another spot that we are hearing reports from Charlotte County of flooding and disabled vehicles. They say between Cooper Street and Berry Street, you're going to be seeing that flooding. I marked some roads that are in between there. Your William Street, Mackenzie, Ann Street there, Henry, all of those susceptible to flooding are seeing flooding, could be seeing some of these disabled vehicles as well. And lastly, they warned about 3 other roads that are susceptible to flooding, 2 of them in Charlotte Harbor, Harborview Road and Bayshore Road, and then the third, Riverside Drive, that is in downtown Punta Gorda. That's your Direct News traffic.
All right, Rachel, thank you. I believe we are being told by our meteorologist we have a tornado warning right now that we need to get to. Zach, are you guys ready?
Yeah, we are. We are watching. I just spoke about it. I was surprised that the National Hurricane Center took us, or the Storm Prediction Center took us out of that tornado warning or tornado watch box at 6 a.m. I thought that this line could be conducive. I said it many times this morning that it could be conducive for producing tornadoes. And again, I had that prompted pretty closely to see if we were watching this. And now it is a storm moving northeast of Arcadia, moving right just east of US 17. Let me try and get a track on this. I had the velocity pulled up a second ago. You may have seen that when I was just doing that weather segment. This is the area we are watching. This higher reflectivity, this brighter color is denoting winds at least of about 40 to 50 miles per hour. And we get this darker shading on the other side that is indicative of some rotation there. Arcadia, you are not in this warning. You are just fine. So if you're tuning in and watching this morning, this just passed to your east a moment ago. It is currently east of US 17. So we're watching that closely. I'm going to go back a few frames and see if I could try and pick up, what was going on with this storm as it was moving through. Yeah, this is the one that we were watching, but it looks like we did not see any pure circulation out of it. I do have a meteorologist, Nikki Sheeks, as well as Lauren Kreidler in the office this morning. Nikki, what are you seeing from the from the Weather Service currently on this warning?
So it's moving to the northeast at 45 miles per hour. It is going to be warned until 6:30 this morning.
And the good thing for us is that it's currently in our viewing area now. It is in northeastern DeSoto County. That's a lot of open land. We're getting into sugarcane county, sugarcane country. There's not too many in terms of popular and high population, high density towns in northern DeSoto County. This is moving away from Arcadia, so that is a good thing. In terms of where it's heading, the storm and the track of where this is going, it is moving directly off towards the north and northeast. And this is the corridor in the region that we are watching for where some spin up could happen. So based on where it is and where it's going, we'll be exiting our viewing area coming up in the next really few short minutes. This is not impacting Arcadia. We will watch it though because it is still in our area. You said how fast is it moving?
45.
And I know our signal in terms of people who are over the antenna sometimes could hear us and watch us in Highlands County. Sometimes that is also true as we get into portions of the counties just off towards the north of Hardy County, just north of DeSoto County. So let's, for the sake of it, let's put a track on this real quick and just to see if there's many towns that will pop up or if there's anything that will come. Let's go for the next 20 minutes because it is moving very fast. And really the few that we're looking at, if you live near a Sweetwater Church and you're watching us over the air, over the antenna in Hardy County, 6:18 a.m. is looking like it's going to be over your head in the next 10 minutes. And then farther off to the north. So, guys, the one good thing is that it is weakening. It really has not confirmed in terms of a tornado. Our Wink Doppler 3X is, you don't want to say it, but it's a lot stronger and a lot better at tracking this rotation than the National Weather Service's radar here, either in Tampa or even in Melbourne. So the good thing is that we aren't seeing too much in terms of the actual rotation. Lauren, what do you see so far in this system?
Right now, it's just saying that it's a radar indicated rotation. So we're seeing radar indicated rotation 7 miles northeast of Arcadia. And as Nikki mentioned, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. So, yeah, it's saying it'll be near Wauchula near around 6:20 this morning.
Yeah, and Wauchula, no one in Wauchula is going to get us over the air. Our service is mainly really from DeSoto to the south, DeSoto County to the south, as well as we do get a lot of viewers in Lake Placid off to the south. Lake Placid, if you are watching, this will stay to the west of you. Arcadia, if you are watching, it's going to be north of you. So this is not going to be impacting your area at all. But we are going to continue to watch this cell. Again, I just mentioned it a second ago. I was surprised that we were removed from that the Storm Prediction Center watch area for tornadoes because that band could still produce a number of spin-up tornadoes, and they removed us from that. But we'll watch that very closely through the morning hours. Guys, really the threat's going to be over for anyone in our populated areas, as well as into, it's moving from DeSoto County into Hardy County, which is not in our area. Orlando is going to be taking over that tornado warning, and they'll be really working with the viewers in that county. So let's toss it over to Corey.